San Francisco is famous for being one of the most difficult places to sail in the world. It's a really strong and cold wind. You're flying 25 miles per hour under the Golden Gate Bridge. In the sailing world, we say, like, if you can sail in San Francisco, you can really sail anywhere.
The story of how Daniela Moroz came to be at home here on the frigid waters of the San Francisco Bay starts over 40 years ago and nearly 6,000 miles away in former Czechoslovakia, a country where her parents grew up under communist rule.
Growing up under the regime, I always dreamed about living in the United States.
I also knew I wanted to leave and experience the freedom that the Western world was experiencing.
In the early 80s, Linda and Vlad separately fled their homeland by joining group trips to Yugoslavia. From there, Linda hitchhiked to the U.S. Embassy in Zagreb and later a refugee camp in Belgrade, while Vlad snuck away from a ski trip a day before the group was set to return home.
It was like the part of former Yugoslavia when it borders with Austria to the north and Italy to the west. I checked out the possible escape route, and it seemed like a little easier for backcountry skiing to go to Italy, so that's what I ended up doing, and it took me a few hours. I pretty much left the skis on the side of the road and got on the train.
We couldn't wait to get here and see that we finally made it to the free world, and it was just incredible.
Vlad and Linda made it to the United States after separate journeys across the world. It was their first look at the bay that would ultimately bring them together.
When I saw the bay and when I saw people on the water, it was just another level, and I knew that, you know, I definitely have to do this.
My parents met when they were learning to windsurf. My mom was at the beach and she heard some other windsurfers speaking Czech. And it was this whole group of people that had all escaped in the 80s, and now they were all windsurfing in the Bay Area.
From windsurfing, Daniela's father discovered the emerging sailing discipline of kite. As soon as Daniela was big enough, she followed in his footsteps.
When I was getting into racing, my dad would always go out on the race course with me. And I still remember the first time I beat my dad.
It was definitely a little hard to swallow, but at the same time, I felt like we should be very proud that, you know, she's doing it. And she just went from there on, getting better and better.
Just 3 years after Daniela learned to kite, at 15 years old, she won her first world championship, an achievement made possible by her parents who risked everything for a better life, and whose love for the water, the wind, and each other has given their daughter a chance for Olympic gold.
Wow, look at Fort Point. I know, big waves.
Really great.
Yeah.
My parents inspire me all the time, leaving everything they knew and going to a completely foreign country just for freedom.
I am so thankful that we have this life here, that we built that life here.
I almost have to pinch myself.
I don't think we ever saw it coming this way. It's been a team effort, and I definitely wouldn't be here without them.